Naruto opened a pet shop in the ninja world. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 51. The red-haired cub's eyes widened visibly. Gar thought he had heard it wrong and stared at Qing with a blank expression. Looking at the cute Gara, Qing repeated what he had just said. Can you take me there? Gara wanted to agree. But he thought of his own situation, frowned sadly, and shook his head to refuse. I am very dangerous. Qing knew what he meant by danger and thought of Naruto, who might be in the same situation as him. He gave a soothing smile, waved his hand and said, I'm very powerful, don't be afraid of hurting me. Qing felt distressed for Gara, who chose to keep his distance because he was afraid of hurting strangers even though he was being rejected and looked down upon. In order to prove that he would not be hurt, Qing asked Gara to raise his hand, and then he stretched out his hand and placed it against a tender little hand. The warmth from my palm made Gara blush. I'll hold your hand, and you can lead the way for me, okay? Yes. This time Gara did not refuse walking on the streets of the sand village. Gara would introduce Qing to wherever he went because he heard Qing say that it was his first time here. At first I was shy and spoke haltingly, but as I got more familiar with it, I spoke fluently. Qing, there's a flower shop over there. Yoshamaru said the flowers come in all colors. But Gara has only seen cacti with thorns, and white and yellow flowers. Yoshamaru said that there are flowers as blue as the sky. Is this true? Gara looked up, his face full of curiosity. Really, there are blue flowers in Konoha, and flowers that are the same color as Gara's hair. Qing corrected Gara's way of addressing him, but because he was too shy, he couldn't call him brother yet. What does Konoha look like? Gara had never left the sand village. What color is it? Colors. Qing hadn't been back for a long time. When talking about Konoha, the first thing he thought of was the forest where he often stayed. It must be colorful, right? The sky is blue, the trees are green, the wildflowers on the roadside are of various colors, and the villagers have their own style for the appearance of their homes. The flower shop has flowers of all colors. Qing couldn't help but reveal a look of pride on his face. Listening to Qing's description of Konoha, Gara couldn't help but let out a longing sound. You can come to Konoha when you grow up. When the Chunin exam came, Gara came to Konoha to take the exam on behalf of the Sand Village. By the way, Qing let go of Gara's hand, found a pen and paper from his body, wrote something and handed it to Gara. Although Gara hadn't started school yet, he was the son of the Kazekage after all, and he had already learned to read. Pet store, free card. He knew every word, but Gara didn't understand what they meant when put together. Qing scratched his head a little embarrassedly. Yes, actually my dream is to open a pet shop in Konoha, a psychic animal. Chapter 52. Before they knew it, they had arrived in front of the restaurant Temari mentioned. Gara had a dry cough as he spoke for such a long time for the first time. He looked at the door of the restaurant, a little frustrated. We're already here, Mr. Qing. Gara was reluctant to part again so soon. He wanted to watch Mr. Qing go in before leaving. Qing saw that the little brat had stopped and had no intention of going any further. While Gara was still not reacting, he put his hands under the child's arms, lifted him up and walked into the restaurant. Because it happened too suddenly, Gara subconsciously hugged Qing's neck. Then his face turned pale and he looked around. The strange sand did not appear, and Uncle Qing in front of him was fine. Gara subconsciously breathed a sigh of relief. Don't do this suddenly next time. Gara had a stern face and taught Qing a lesson in a serious manner. It's very dangerous. The pale little face hasn't recovered yet. It's obvious that he was really scared. I'm sorry. Qing rubbed his face apologetically. I did this because I know Gara won't hurt me, but Gara can't control it. His voice was filled with tears. He couldn't control the sands and the monsters in his body, so they would always go out of control or hurt others at any time if he hurt Mr. Qing, who was so gentle to him. Gara felt pain in his chest when he thought of this scene. To make it up to you, I'll treat you to dinner, he said as he held Gara in his arms and pushed open the door of the restaurant. Welcome. Before he could finish his words, he saw Gara being hugged. The owner took 2 steps back with a restaurant's sullen look on his face. Hey, my guest, you. Gara saw their reactions and his face fell in Master Kankuro. They are Qing looked around the hall and did not see the two people when the eldest princess and the young master came just now. They did tell them that if someone came to look for them, they should lead the way, but they really didn't expect that there was another Gaara. We found the wrong store. Qing said this to Gaara. Gaara shook his head. Sister, that's the place sister was talking about. Identity. Although he was afraid, he still spoke. The eldest princess and the eldest young master are in the box upstairs. Thank you, we can go up by ourselves. Qing thanked them politely and did not let them lead the way. The other party's fear of Gaara was too obvious, and such an attitude could easily hurt Gaara. After Qing confirmed that they were in that box, he carried Gaara upstairs. When the two of them went upstairs, the people downstairs seemed to wake up. That child, is it Gaara? Right, yeah, he's the only kid with red hair in the village. He can actually be touched. In their mind, anyone who approaches Gaara will be blocked. Nothing could get close to Gaara. Gaara is a dangerous existence. But the sight of Gaara being held by a stranger boy changed their minds. It was as if I suddenly remembered that the terrifying child was actually just a 3 or 4-year-old child. Gaara didn't care either. Gaara, who is sensitive to other people's emotions, noticed that Qing was angry. Chapter 53. Feeling that Qing was angry, Gaara clenched his fists and struggled to get off Qing. Gaara's struggle brought Qing back to his senses. Did I see you? Qing slightly adjusted the hand that was holding Gaara. I'm sorry, Mr. Qing. The sudden apology made Qing confused all of a sudden. Did Gaara do something wrong? Gaara didn't dare to look Qing in the eye. He lowered his head. I'm actually very annoying. As soon as he said this, he was probably afraid that Qing would dislike him, or maybe he had been wronged for too long. Tears covered Gaara's eyes. I shouldn't have come in. It's all my fault. I made Mr. Qing disliked. I'm sorry for making Mr. Qing angry. When he said this, Gaara couldn't hold back his tears and wiped them away with his little hands. Qing didn't expect that the emotion he just felt would be felt by the child. On second thought, I feel that it is not surprising. After all, Gaara, who has always been in such an environment, must be sensitive to other people's emotional changes. It was just like when Gaara first came into contact with him because he felt the kindness he was releasing. Looking at the child who was crying out of breath, Qing held his face in her hands with heartache. It's my fault. You don't have to apologize. Qing wiped the tears from Gaara's face with his sleeve. I'm not angry with Gaara anymore. Gaara raised his eyes and looked at Qing after hearing this. I'm about their attitude towards you. Gaara is such a good kid. At this age now, Gaara is really well behaved and cute. Gaara, who has not experienced betrayal by his closest relatives, still retains the purest kindness and trust in others. The two children who were waiting for someone in the box had already heard the noise outside. They quietly opened the door and witnessed the whole process. Kankuro was so amazed at what he saw. Temari, who is relatively delicate, has complicated feelings. They actually had very few opportunities to see Gaara, let alone get along with him. I only remember that their father did not allow them to get too close to Gaara. Konoha messenger who just met today was able to touch Gaara and was angry for him. Why are they, as Gaara's closest blood relatives, afraid of him? For the first time, Temari began to doubt her father. After all, she believed more in what she saw with her own eyes. Temari closed the door, pursed her lips and remained silent. Now she was actually looking forward to Qing bringing Gaara in. They ate together, and then she, as the older sister, picked up food for her younger brother at the table. She just saw Gaara crying and suddenly thought the little brother was very cute. He's also better looking than Kankuro. And Kankuro never called her sister. Kankuro was confused when he was suddenly met with Temari's disdainful gaze. Angry. Temari, what do you mean? Chapter 54. In the end, Qing still did not take Gaara, Temari and Kankuro to have dinner together. He knocked on the door of the private room, and Temari subconsciously looked behind him, somewhat confused as to why she didn't see Gaara. Mr. Chi, please come in. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting for so long. I won't have lunch with you today. Qing deliberately let Gaara come into contact with his brothers and sisters. But it didn't seem appropriate at the moment, and he had brought him here without even asking Gaara's opinion. Temari wanted to ask where Gaara had gone, but she opened and closed her mouth but couldn't ask. The words that finally came out of her mouth turned into a sentence. I know. Gaara was hiding in the corner of the corridor waiting for Qing. Yoshimaru's cooking is delicious. After what happened just now, Gaara has changed the way he addresses Qing. Qing nodded and agreed, but it would be bad if the family didn't prepare any extra food during a sudden visit, so why don't we go to the street and buy some? Yes. Gaara nodded vigorously. He felt that brother Qing was really smart. He remembered that Yoshamaru said yesterday that he had emptied the refrigerator and would go out to buy groceries today, enough food at home. The villagers still avoided Gaara, but today Gaara didn't feel sad at all because he had Qing by his side. The two of them returned to Gaara's house together, but Yoshamaru was not there. Qing borrowed the kitchen and made a simple lunch using the ingredients she had just bought. Harmonious. The food cooked by brother Qing is so beautiful. Gaara ate vegetable soup and bread the most. Qing made omelette rice for lunch. The fried rice was arranged into the shape of a sleeping bear, and the fried egg covered the bear's body like a quilt, which was particularly cute. As long as you like it. Qing's own portion was just ordinary fried rice with egg. After lunch, Yoshamaru still hadn't returned. After Qing cleaned up the kitchen, he took Gaara out to digest the food. Gaara took Qing to the place where he played with sands in the morning, and the shovel and bucket were still there. Brother Qing, do you want to play with us? Gaara wanted to show Qing the sand sculpture he made. Okay. Qing did not refuse him and squatted in the sand pile with him when he saw the exquisite castle on the sand pile. It's amazing, Gaara, being able to build such a beautiful castle in such a short time. How did you do it? Gaara blushed when he received the praise and demonstrated it directly to Qing. I saw Gaara shoveling sand into the bucket, and when it was full, he turned it upside down. He put his hand on the sand pile, and the sand began to move by itself, and in the blink of an eye it turned into an exquisite castle. Wow! Qing exclaimed in admiration. Wow! You're amazing. Kankuro, who had arrived out of nowhere, ran to Gaara with his eyes wide open. Can you make something to eat? Wow! Temari squatted in front of the small castle. She even saw the little prince in the castle. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 55. It was the first time that Gaara had such close contact with his sister and brother. After being surprised, he blushed and nodded. Gaara moved his fingers, and an oversized cuttlefish stood on the sand pile. Kankuro, oh. Squidyaki. A big bowl of delicious ramen also appeared. Kankuro, wow, ramen. That's amazing, amazing, you're amazing. His nose. Temari held her forehead with her hand. Of course, the giant poop didn't make it. Looking at the three siblings playing together, Qing tried hard to reduce his presence and not disturb them. On the other side, the Fangying building. Is it really okay for him to come into contact with Gaara, Lord Kazakage? The ninja following behind Qing finished reporting on what they had done today and felt a little worried. It's okay. Fangying had complicated feelings towards his youngest son. When facing Gaara, Fangying didn't know what kind of emotion to use. Gaara's birth took away his beloved wife, and Shukaku's seal was incomplete, which caused Gaara to go berserk from time to time. Qing was mentioned in the letter from Konoha. Qing came to the Sand Village as the younger brother of the fourth Hokage. Implicit in his words was the third Hokage's intention to train Qing to succeed him. So Fangying deliberately let the children come into contact with Qing. But Gaara's approach to him was unexpected. The Kazakage took out an envelope and quickly wrote a reply to Konoha. Qing looked at the three siblings and clapped his hands to attract their attention. Brother Qing. Gaara's face was flushed with joy. He ran towards Qing and threw himself into his arms. Temari controlled her hand that wanted to pinch his face. She took out the handkerchief she was carrying and ran over to wipe Gaara's sweat. If you don't wipe off the sweat and the wind blows on you, you will easily catch a cold. Thank you. Gaara was still a little shy and uncomfortable facing his sister. Temari, what about me? Kankuro had never been treated so attentively by Temari. Temari frowned. You don't even catch a cold in your shorts in the winter, Kankuro. Who really only wears shorts in winter? I'll be back tomorrow at the latest. As expected, as soon as Qing finished speaking, Gaara's expression changed instantly. He said with a sad face, so soon? Can't you stay a few more days? It's okay, we will see each other again in the future. You are not alone now, Gaara. Qing rubbed Gaara's head and turned him around. Standing behind Gaara were Temari and Kankuro, who no longer showed any fear towards him. Even if Mr. Qing goes back, sister will play with you. Let's play in the sand together next time, little brother. Kankuro has not given up the idea of seeing the giant poop. He feels that he has missed a lot because he has been avoiding Gaara before. At this moment, Gaara's heart, which had been empty, felt filled. He slightly shyly Qing waved towards Temari and Kankuro and said something in the ears of the three children. When the three siblings heard Qing's words, their eyes widened and they nodded to show that they understood. The ninja in the dark couldn't hear their whispers and frowned. Qing thought that the earliest he could go back was tomorrow, but he didn't expect that Feng Ying's reply letter arrived before it got dark. Chapter 56. Qing returns to the village. Registration is required to enter and exit the main gate of Konoha village. The weather was particularly good today, and the perfect temperature made the chunin on duty at the registration desk a little drowsy time. He looked at the somewhat unfamiliar faces in front of him and did some more checking. Just sign here. The identification documents are all real. Perhaps noting the confusion in the chunin's eyes, he explained, I've been out for several years. I see. I was just transferred here this year. Today, senior, you are here. Someone has indeed returned, but I don't know who he is. He pushed the registration book over. Qing, noon, well, thank you. Uchiha Shisui couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth. After all, we haven't seen each other for 3 years. Qing breathed the air of Konoha. He didn't know if it was a psychological effect, but he always felt that the air in Konoha was sweeter than outside. He first went to the Hokage building to report, and in order to save time, he did not show up in front of his acquaintances. The third Hokage looked at the boy in front of him who had grown up a lot, his eyes full of satisfaction. He knew that Qing was in a hurry to do other things, so he asked him to leave Feng Ying's letter and let him go after completing other necessary procedures. Come back here tomorrow. Go and rest today. You've worked hard. Yes. Qing did not delay or go home, but ran towards the welfare home. He was a little nervous along the way because he hadn't seen Naruto for a long time, and to be honest, he was a little nervous. Little Naruto probably doesn't remember me. He definitely doesn't remember me. After all, it's been so long since we last met. There's only one welfare home in Konoha, and because of Naruto's special situation, he has a room all to himself. Qing knew where Naruto's room was. He stood outside the room and did not see the little figure. Then I walked around the welfare home again, but still couldn't find it. Hello, is Naruto out? Qing asked the teacher who was teaching the children. When the teacher heard Naruto's name, he didn't realize who it was at first. Naruto. Yes, Uzumaki Naruto, isn't he here? Qing repeated. The teacher's face changed slightly when he remembered who it was. He didn't dare to neglect the ninja with the forward protector. Naruto? Naruto is a naughty child. He probably ran out to play outside without telling us again. In fact, it was because they all subconsciously ignored the child, because he would always come back on his own anyway. Excuse me, who are you? Really? Thank you. Qing didn't say much. He looked at him, thanked him and left. The teacher's expression and words were enough to explain Naruto's current situation. Chapter 57. Qing and Naruto. If Naruto is not on the orphanage, then where is he? Qing walked along the road from the welfare home to the park with his friends. Qing hid his breath and sat on the tree watching them. As the sun was about to set, the other children were picked up by their parents. Only a small figure was left in the afterglow of the setting sun. He looked at his friends who were picked up by their families. The corners of his mouth, which had been raised all the time, gradually calmed down, and his blue eyes were full of loneliness. Name, Naruto? It was a very gentle voice, very familiar, but I couldn't remember who it was. Little Naruto turned around and looked at the person who had stood behind him without him noticing because he was facing away from the light. Naruto couldn't see his face clearly. The little golden head tilted and asked in confusion, "Who are you, big brother?" "Call me uncle, uncle." Naruto narrowed his eyes. He saw the face of the man in front of him clearly and shook his head. "No, it's obviously my brother." "Big brother, you are not old at all. Sit down and I'll tell you in detail." Big brother, are you a human trafficker?" Naruto heard the other party's words that sounded very much like a human trafficker. Instead of being afraid, he looked expectant. "Are you going to kidnap me?" Qing was a little helpless. "Although I am not, but if I really kidnapped you, wouldn't you be afraid?" Naruto shook his head, his eyes looking a little lonely. "Everyone in the village is afraid of me. If I were really kidnapped and taken to another strange place where no one knew me, would I not be afraid anymore? Qing looked at the child whose thoughts were written all over his face. Her heart ached a little, but she also found his naive thoughts funny. Without further delay, Qing held Naruto in his arms and stood up. Wow! Because it happened too suddenly, Naruto subconsciously hugged Qing's neck. Brother, are you really going to kidnap me? No, but I think it's necessary to give you a good safety knowledge course. Qing ruffled Naruto's hair. What do you want for dinner? Dinner? Big brother, are you going to treat me to dinner? Yeah, it's up to you what you want to eat. I want to eat ramen. Okay, let's eat ramen then. The Hokage building. Inside the Hokage's office. Hokage-sama, are you sure you don't need to stop me? Sarutobi had long expected that Qing would go looking for Naruto. It should be said that if he hadn't gone to find Naruto, he would have suspected whether the person who came back was Qing. Stop. What? He's Naruto's relative. Remove half of the surveillance while Qing is here. Yes. Chapter 58 Qing and Ramen. 3.5-year-old Naruto Uzumaki feels that today is his lucky day. Not only did I meet some new friends in the park, but I was also treated to ramen by a handsome older brother. Uncle Yao's daughter rushed out from the kitchen and blushed when she saw Qing's increasingly handsome appearance. Little Qing, welcome back. Uncle, sister, a chorus. Long time no see. After leaving for a few years, Qing missed Ichiriko ramen very much. He sat in his usual seat, turned his head to look at the two empty seats, as if brother Minato and sister-in-law were still there. They brought me ramen when I first ate it. Things that happened several years ago seem to have happened just yesterday. Qing, who was inexplicably sad, lowered his eyelids and gently patted Naruto's head. I just came back today. Bring Naruto to have a meal. Qing placed Naruto on a nearby chair and introduced him to the two. Naruto was a little nervous at first, but when he saw that the uncle and the older sister didn't look at him strangely, he gradually relaxed and expectations. You can tell me what you want to eat. Qing pointed to the menu on the wall and said, are there any words you don't know? Do you need me to read them to you? Naruto shook his head, placed his hands on the table, and looked at Qing expectantly. Can I eat the ones with the swirls? Whirlpool. Qing thought for a moment and answered him, that's called Naruto roll. How about char sui ramen? Barbecued pork. Naruto looked at the menu on the wall, looking for the word barbecued pork. After matching them up, I looked at the prices below and hesitated. He found the brand with the smallest number and said to Qing, big brother, I want to eat that. Exchanging glances, he said, Uncle, give me 2 servings of that. Uncle Ichiraku gave a thumbs up. Great. A chorus bent down and lay on the bar. Where has Qing been in these years? Can you tell me? Well, I have been to many places, but I'm sorry, Sister Changpu, I can't say too much. Qing looked apologetic. Say. Changpu is not much older than Qing, but she has always followed her father and has never been to any place farther. Naruto, do you want to listen too? Qing turned his head to look at Naruto, who was staring at him. I do. Naruto looked at the ninja sword protector tied around his older brother's neck with admiration on his face. Let me think about it. Qing picked out some places they passed by and told them about them. Qing was very good at expressing himself, and every place he mentioned could trigger imagination in Changpu's mind. A chorus clasped his hands together and said, when I save up enough money, I will definitely ask you to escort me on my trip. It's a pity that I probably won't be on the escort mission. Qing felt Naruto's burning gaze. What's wrong? Little Naruto blushed. I want to be a ninja too. Qing heard such a declaration at this time. He always felt that something was wrong. Just at this moment, the uncle's ramen was cooked. Chapter 59. 2 bowls of ramen with good color, aroma and taste and plenty of ingredients were served on the table. Naruto, who had been hungry for a day, couldn't help swallowing. But he didn't forget that he wanted the cheapest one, and forced himself to look away. Uncle, did you get the wrong one? No, this is a hidden menu. We won't charge you a penny more. Eat as much as you want. But the only thing is that you can't waste anything. Uncle. Ichiraku pressed Naruto's head. Naruto subconsciously looked at Qing, and only picked up the chopsticks after seeing him nod. I'm starting. But Naruto couldn't hold the chopsticks properly, so he could only pick them up by holding the ends with both hands. Eating noodles like this will cause the soup to splash out and drip onto your clothes. When she saw him looking at her, she used a tissue to wipe the soup off his face. A 3-year-old child who has not yet learned to use chopsticks may even have noodles splashed on his eyebrows when eating. Brother, I'm not full yet. So you don't need to wipe your mouth. Uncle. Qing corrected him and said, the noodles will get cold very quickly if you eat them like this. Let me teach you how to use chopsticks first. Qing wiped Naruto's hands clean, then held his palms and taught him how to use chopsticks. This way you will be able to hold the food steadily. Naruto's eyes were shining after he learned the new skill. Although he was not proficient yet, he could at least pick up a few noodles and put them into his mouth. A bowl of super deluxe ramen is definitely something that kids can't finish. Naruto, who was used to being hungry, had a small stomach to begin with, and his stomach was already bloated after he finished half a bowl of food, but he did not forget what Uncle Ichiraku had just said, don't waste it. He put the food into his mouth in small mouthfuls. His face turned a little pale because he was so full. When Qing found out, she snatched his chopsticks away. If you can't eat anymore, don't eat anymore. Your stomach will get hurt. But, Uncle said that we can't waste it. Ugh. Naruto was feeling a little nauseous after eating too much. Qing took out a medicine box from her bag, took out a white pill and broke it into 4 small pieces. He handed it to Naruto and asked him to eat it with water. Qing poured the remaining half bowl of Naruto's food into his own bowl, and in no time at all there was even the soup left. Naruto was surprised and a little shy when he saw it. I have eaten that before. I don't even mind you, little brat, so why do you care about anything? Qing didn't have the habit of wasting food, but he did manage to hold on. Can you walk? Do you want me to carry you back? Qing, who was full, looked at Naruto, who was lying on the table beside him to digest his food. The child rested his face on his arms, looking very cute with a comfortable expression. Speaking of going back, Naruto subconsciously thought of going back to the orphanage. Let's go, I can't walk anymore. The child who couldn't lie felt guilty and his eyes were evasive. But in Qing's eyes, such behavior was just coquettishness. How could he refuse Naruto if he acted like a spoiled child to him? Okay. Qing smiled and held Naruto in his arms. He took out a bag of money he had just packed and put it on the table. Uncle, the money is here. Uncle Yao came out from the kitchen when he heard the sound. He looked at the 2 empty bowls and smiled even more. Uncle is treating us today. It's a rare opportunity for you to come back. He pushed the purse back in front of Qing. Qing smiled and shook her head. I appreciate your kindness, but I promised to treat Naruto to a meal today, so don't fight with me. Let's go back first. Say hello to Sister Chorus for me. Goodbye, Uncle. Stretched out one hand and waved to the uncle. Really? Qing had said so, and the uncle didn't know what to say. Welcome to visit next time. Chapter 60 Qing's Guilt. After leaving Ichiraku Ramen, Naruto's mood was visibly low. He buried his face in Qing's neck and said nothing. Naruto didn't want to go back and wanted to stay with his older brother who was so kind to him. Even though it was their first meeting today, Naruto felt that the older brother was particularly kind, as if they had known each other for a long time. Is your stomach still uncomfortable? Seeing that Naruto was a little depressed, Qing reached out and rubbed his stomach. It was no longer as bloated as before, and it was obvious that the digestive medicine was working. No. Facing his older brother who cares about him, Naruto felt extremely guilty for the lie he just told. I'm sorry, older brother. Naruto's tone was already tearful. Qing paused, put his hand on Naruto's back and patted him gently. Why are you apologizing, little Naruto? I just lied. Naruto's heart was pounding. I'm not so strong that I can't walk. I just want my big brother to hold me. Although he was very scared, after telling the truth, Naruto felt relieved a lot of the suppressed emotions. Regardless of whether he could be forgiven or not, he didn't want to lie to such a good older brother. The child was seriously admitting his mistake, and Qing, who was touched by the cuteness, tried hard to remain calm and not let his emotions show. Brother, are you angry? Naruto looked at Qing cautiously, but he couldn't see his face from this angle. Little Naruto is so cute. Ahem. I'm not. Qing turned Naruto around, put his hands under his armpits and lifted him up, so that Naruto was facing her. Naruto wants me to carry him back. I would be happier if you told me directly. Naruto's uneasiness and his cautiousness made Qing feel distressed and guilty. It was because he did something wrong impulsively that he was punished and left Naruto's side for so many years. He felt guilty for not taking good care of Naruto for brother Minato and sister-in-law Kushina. This Harmless little lie. Seems to me like Naruto is acting like a spoiled child. I am very happy. After saying that, Qing hugged Naruto against her body and said, because uncle likes Naruto the most. Naruto was half confused, but the only thing he understood was that the older brother said he loved him the most. This was the first time someone said they loved him and accepted him, and Naruto's eyes became red. All the grievances I had felt since I began to understand the emotions of the people around me came out at this moment. Naruto's crying was not as loud as other children's, but rather a soft sobbing sound like a newborn kitten. Qing originally wanted to go around and buy some clothes that would fit Naruto's size. But seeing him like this, she changed her mind and quickened her pace back home. The air quality in the apartment, which has not been occupied for several years, is not very good. Sorry, please stand at the door and wait for me. Qing wanted to put Naruto down first, but he didn't let go. I had no choice but to put a mask on him before opening the door. A musty smell hit him in the face, and Qing took a few steps towards the window to open it for ventilation and wait for a while. Yes. Naruto nodded obediently. Because I cried so hard just now, I hiccup from time to time. Naruto was very happy to find that he was not sent back to the orphanage. He sat on the bed, dangling his little feet, and looked around curiously. The most important thing is that you can see Qing just by looking up from this position. Naruto likes it here. Chapter 61 Qing's Clone. After Qing cleaned the house, he found that little Naruto was already curled up in the bed and asleep. This extremely insecure sleeping position made Qing's heart soften. Maybe it was because he had been in an excited state for too long today. Even when Qing moved Naruto away while making the bed, he showed no signs of waking up. I have to go to the Hokage's office to report my mission tomorrow, and I haven't had a good chat with Naruto yet. Qing was afraid that if he fell asleep now, he would fall into deep sleep. While taking a shower, Qing thought of a compromise. Before lying down on the bed, Qing created a shadow clone, and the chakra input was enough to last until tomorrow night. I'll leave it to you from now on. Around after explaining everything he had to do tomorrow, he laid down on the bed, hummed comfortably, turned his head to look at the sleeping child, and raised the corner of his mouth. Good night, Naruto, Naruto. Felt like he had a sweet dream in the dream. An older brother appeared and claimed to be my uncle. The older brother is very nice to me. He woke up from the warm bed the next day. Naruto still thought he was still dreaming. He opened his eyes and saw a magnified, beautiful face, and was unable to react for a moment. Hey, you're awake. Qing's clone was sitting on a chair beside the bed, reading a book with an orange cover in his hand. Naruto propped himself up, looked at the person sitting on the chair, then looked at the person still lying on the bed, and fell into confusion. Yes, there are two older brothers. This is a ninjutsu, the shadow clone technique. Qing's clone was touched by Naruto's words. I am the shadow clone, the real one is sleeping over there. Qing's clone briefly explained the situation to Naruto. The original body has fallen into a dormant state, and it is uncertain when it will wake up, so I will take care of you today. But before that, you have to finish your breakfast at home. Uncle has to go out for a while. He also has to go to the Hokage building to report on his mission. Qing's clone had already prepared breakfast, which was homemade egg and vegetable sandwiches and milk. The new toiletries are ready, and there's a small stool to step on. Do you need me to help you finish washing? Naruto shook his head. I can do it myself. After he was able to do some things independently, Naruto was able to do many things by himself. Bathroom has prepared hot water for bathing. You can take a bath if you want. The clothes are all there. Uncle has to go out for a while. Wait for me at home. Can you do it? I can. Naruto raised his little fist. Well, Naruto is really a little man. The shadow clone praised again and left only after getting the affirmation. Naruto watched him leave, and didn't say anything like be careful on the way because he was not used to it. Naruto tilted his head. Although the shadow clone looks exactly like my older brother and is very kind to me, I feel like there's a gap between them. Is this an illusion? But at this time, Naruto was just a child of 3 years old, and he soon forgot about this matter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 62 Happy Dragon Boat Festival. In the Hokage's office, the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned slightly as he looked at Qing who was reporting on the mission in front of him, but did not interrupt him. Only after he finished speaking did Sarutobi nod and respond, "Thank you for your hard work, but why did you only send the shadow clones over? Where are you?" Sarutobi knew that Qing was not a child who did not know the importance of the matter, and there must be a reason why he only allowed a shadow clone to come. Qing's clone paused for a moment and then dropped his shoulders helplessly. He was lying at home and fell asleep. Sarutobi. I understand. Then take a long vacation. You've worked hard these years. Thank you, Hokage. Qing scratched his head, regarding the matter of little Naruto. Now that I'm back, I hope you won't restrict his actions. Sarutobi had expected him to say something like this. As long as you don't go too far, I'll pretend I didn't see anything. Yes. Qing lowered his eyes. I can last until tonight at most. If you have something important to talk to me about, you can wake me up. After Qing's clone finished his report, he said goodbye to the Hokage without staying any longer as there was nothing else to do and left through the gate under a tree not far away. A black-haired boy seemed to have been waiting for a long time. He was a little dazed when he saw Qing, and when he approached, the words to greet him got stuck in his throat. Where are you? It is not so easy to distinguish the shadow clones, but the Hokage with the strength of a cage can feel the difference in the flow of chakra in his body that, Shisui and Qing's clones looked at each other. Maybe you feel differently. Qing's clone laughed. Shisui's feeling is always quite accurate. I'm at home, still sleeping. Knowing that Qing was sleeping, Shisui felt a little regretful. Then he thought of something and asked, you haven't been able to rest well all these years, have you? Qing's clone kept smiling and said nothing, which was considered as his agreement knowing the possible consequences. Shisui couldn't laugh. He looked at Qing's clone, wanting to say something but stopping himself. Finally, he sighed, forget it, let's talk about it when you wake up. Remember to come find me when you wake up. Yes, I'll pass it on. He waved goodbye to Shisui. Before going back, Qing's clone made a simple disguise and went to the street to buy clothes and toys that were suitable for the children at home. The ones I bought a long time ago are still in the sealed scroll. The chakra possessed by Qing's clone cannot unlock the seal, so I bought them again. When he returned home carrying a bunch of things, he stood at the door and knocked. Soon the sound of footsteps was heard. Then there was a click and the door opened a little. The little head peeked out through the crack in the door, and only opened the door when he confirmed it was Qing, brother. After entering the house and putting down the things, Qing's clone rubbed little Naruto's head and said, thank you for taking care of the house. Little Naruto is so brave. Naruto blushed at the compliment, enjoying the warmth of the hand on his head. Qing's clone took out the clothes and toys one by one and placed them in front of little Naruto. A gift for you. For me. Little Naruto looked up with disbelief in his eyes. Chapter 63 Naruto and Qing. This was the first time Naruto had received a gift since he could remember. It wasn't a gift that he got after being picked out by other children in the orphanage. It was a gift that belonged completely to him. Brother, who are you and why are you so nice to me? Naruto, who had been looked down upon all the time, could of course feel that there was no other factor behind Qing's attitude towards him. Qing's clone helplessly. Qing's clone didn't expect little Naruto to be so sensitive, not knowing how to explain. He scratched his hair with a headache. I always say that I am your uncle, right, but my brother is obviously very young. Little Naruto still doesn't understand the other meaning of uncle. I want him to explain it to you yourself. Father's younger brother is your uncle. My father's brother. The word father was too unfamiliar to Naruto. This made Naruto even more confused since he had been in an orphanage for as long as he could remember. Children in orphanages are either abandoned at the doorstep because their parents are unknown, or because both parents have passed away and they have no relatives at home. Naruto has always felt that he is the latter. But the sudden appearance of little uncle means that he still has relatives, so why was he abandoned in an orphanage? So I am the abandoned child? This was sadder than the death of both parents. Seeing the hurt expression on the kid's face, Qing's clone held him in his arms and explained, Uncle didn't abandon you. There is a reason why I waited until now to meet you. Please believe in Uncle, okay, Naruto. Wait until he wakes up and let him explain it to you. Hearing this, Naruto felt much better. He buried his face in the arms of Qing's clone and said in a dull voice, Brother, why hasn't little Uncle woken up yet? Because I didn't get enough rest during the mission, I will probably sleep for 10 days or half a month, or maybe even longer. Qing's clone hung the spare key he had prepared around Naruto's neck. Come here whenever you want during this time, and just open the door yourself. I'm just a clone, and I'll disappear after my chakra is consumed. Qing's clone introduced the placement of things in the house to little Naruto, and the dangerous things had been put away by him. When the time was almost up, Qing's clone hugged little Naruto and said, "Take care of yourself. You can actually wake him up if there's an emergency." Bye. With a bang, Qing's clone disappeared in front of Naruto. Little Naruto was stunned for a moment, feeling a little helpless because it was so sudden. But when he turned around and saw Qing still lying on the bed, he felt relieved. He ran to Qing's side and lay down, looking at Qing's sleeping face. Thinking of the relationship between them, he couldn't help but chuckle. I'm not alone anymore. My little uncle is so handsome. Naruto didn't want to go back to the orphanage. Before disappearing, Qing's clone left him some living expenses for food. Therefore, during this period of time, little Naruto visited Ishirako Ramen more often. But most of the time he just ate bread. Sometimes he would go out to play, but after his friends were picked up, he would happily run back to Qing's apartment. She would wrap out a towel to wipe Qing's face, and mop the floor with a mop that was much taller than him. I wash my clothes and hang them outside the window. Chapter 64 Naruto and Crow. Not many people knew that Qing had returned, and apart from appearing in front of some people on the first day after his return, he had not gone out since Uchiha Itachi learned this from Shisui. They had agreed to practice together that day, and when it was over, Shisui suddenly remembered this. By the way, it's been a week since I came back. It had been a week since Qing came back, and Itachi, who had only heard about his return from others, fell silent. My heart sank too. Maybe she still, after all, she was avoiding him before he left. Haven't met him in person yet. I just happened to see his name at the gate registration desk when I came back last time. And the next day, all I saw was a shadow clone. Hearing this, Itachi remembered Qing's record-breaking sleep time. Itachi heaved a sigh of relief when he learned that Qing was not avoiding him on purpose. After separating from Shisui, Itachi came to his senses and found himself standing under Qing's apartment. Itachi stood on the telephone pole behind the door and saw what was inside the house through the window, but the view was not comprehensive, as there was a vague figure swaying around. Itachi had no interest in snooping into other people's homes, but if that person was Qing, with his hands forming seals, the young boy who was originally happening standing on the electric pole disappeared, and a black crow flapped its wings and flew towards Qing's home. The little crow stood on the windowsill and looked inside. He saw the sleeping person. The face was slightly different from what he remembered, but undoubtedly more beautiful. There was a sound of water coming from the direction of the bathroom. Who was taking a shower? An unknown emotion rose from the bottom of his heart, and the weasel turned into Little Crow and jumped onto the belly of the sleeping man. Were not good birds. Although he was scared, Naruto ran over and whispered to drive them away. Go away, go away. But this little crow was not a real bird after all. He was not frightened and continued to squat in his original position, staring at the cub in front of him with his red eyes such a long time. Because of this, it was only natural for Qing to take him home as soon as he returned. But Itachi still felt uncomfortable. Seeing that he couldn't drive it away, Naruto looked around the house and found a small stick to drive it away. The little crow flew towards Naruto's face. Naruto subconsciously took a few steps back and fell to the ground. Go away, go away. He closed his eyes and waved his hands wildly. When I opened my eyes again, the crow head had left. Naruto wiped away his tears with some grievance, ran to Qing, and was relieved to see that he was not woken up. After returning home, Itachi looked at his younger brother, who ran out to greet him first, put away his emotions and smiled. Chapter 65. After a period of time, Naruto discovered that the little crow would always appear at home at a fixed time. And every time she came, she would squat on her uncle's belly. He was worried that the crow would hurt his uncle when he wasn't paying attention. Therefore, Naruto now has an additional task of driving away crows in his simple daily life. Every time the little crow was exhausted, he would not leave. But after a few more times, little Naruto discovered that no matter whether he drove the little crow away or not, he would fly away at about the same time every day. Although the little crow would sometimes fly straight towards his face, it had never hurt him. Like it was just revenge. Thinking of this, Naruto, who had never had a pet, suddenly wanted to raise a crow. So Naruto pinched out some of his own bread and placed it on the windowsill. The little crow weasel flew to Qing's house at a fixed time. It didn't pay much attention to the piece of bread on the windowsill and just thought that the little nine-tailed fox was used to feed the sparrows. Seeing that he still showed no sign of waking up, she flapped her wings and squatted on his abdomen, staring at that face with her little eyes. After returning home, Naruto's eyes fell on the little crow. "You are here again today." He ran to the windowsill, where the bread he had torn today was still there. Ah! Don't crows eat bread? He remembered seeing crows eating garbage at the garbage dump. Naruto pinched a little and put it to the little crow's mouth, only for the crow to turn his head away and refuse to be fed. Itachi. So it was for him to eat? Why not eat? Naruto looked confused and then stuffed the bread into his mouth. Same with the ones on the windowsill, a bit dry. He turned on the drinking water tap and poured himself a glass of water. After drinking a large glass of water, Naruto felt a little bloated. He took out the purse from the closet, but there was not much left. Well, if my uncle doesn't wake up, the money will run out. I can save some money and buy discounted bread so that I can eat for a few more days, but you don't eat bread. Even if he was hungry, Naruto was unwilling to go back to the orphanage. Naruto was lying on the edge of the bed, talking to himself, but it was unclear whether he was talking to the little crow or to Qing. Sure enough, just before the sun set, the little crow flapped its wings and stood on the windowsill. "I'm sorry, Sasuke. I'll take you next time." You say that again. Little Sasuke covered his forehead to express his dissatisfaction. Itachi suddenly thought of the little golden-haired nine-tailed fox lying on the bed, worrying about his livelihood. Comparing the two, Sasuke is like a child soaked in a honey pot. "Brother, brother." Sasuke shouted several times but got no response, so he raised his voice, not in a good condition these days. Seeing that Sasuke was about to get angry, Itachi came to his senses, put his brother on his back, and took the initiative to suggest, "Brother will take you to practice tomorrow and teach you ninjutsu." Really? Little Sasuke was distracted and forgot about the incident just now. "Don't lie to me." Itachi smiled and turned sideways. "Not gonna lie to you, let's go eat. Brother is the best." Chapter 66. After learning that the little crow didn't eat bread, the next day Naruto took out half of the remaining money and put it in his pocket. He went to the street to buy things with money in his pocket. He was almost used to the cold stares he received recently. Today, Naruto had just found this delicatessen and walked in when he was grabbed by the back of his shirt and thrown out. "If you dare to come in again next time, I won't let you go so easily. I have money, I want to buy meat." Little Naruto got up from the ground dejectedly. "I won't sell it to you." The boss closed the door coldly. It has been driven out by many other shops, and this is the last deli meat shop left. Naruto was kicked out again and stood there helplessly. "How much do you want to buy?" The sudden voice behind him made Naruto stunned for a moment. He turned around and saw two figures, one big and one small. The younger one is about the same age as me, but a bit taller than me. The older one was the one who spoke, and he repeated, "How much do you want to buy?" Handed it to him. "I don't know how much these can buy, yet." He responded and took a few coins from Naruto's hand. "Sasuke, wait here for me, I'll be ready soon." "Oh?" Sasuke let go of his brother's hand and waited obediently outside the door, looking at the dirty little Naruto from time to time. Everyone is curious about him, but he always likes to act like a cool kid in front of outsiders. Itachi came out soon and handed a heavy-looking bag to Naruto. "Thank you, big brother." Naruto smiled and thanked him politely. Itachi nodded at him and walked away with Sasuke. After walking a distance, Sasuke spoke. "Brother, do you know him?" Sasuke knew a little about the prices of things. That little money was not enough to buy so much food at such a young age. And he keeps getting chased away. Why? In Sasuke's eyes, Naruto is shorter than him, so he must be younger than him as well. There are many reasons. Sasuke seems very interested in him. Itachi said vaguely, and when he said the second half of the sentence, he lowered his head and looked at Sasuke. Sasuke's originally fair face turned red. No, he looks dirty and doesn't like to be clean. The young master has a slight obsession with cleanliness. If it were any other time, Itachi would definitely not say anything more, but today, after hearing Sasuke's words, he couldn't help but say more. "You just saw it, he was thrown out and rolled on the ground twice before he got dirty." He is different from Sasuke. He has no parents or other siblings. He only has one relative who is still underage and cannot be his guardian. He lived in an orphanage until last month. Ah, why did those people chase him away? That's too much? Sasuke felt guilty for his disgust just now. Itachi said nothing more and took Sasuke home. At the usual time, Itachi was standing on the windowsill of Qing's house, and Naruto, who had returned home a long time ago, seemed to be waiting for him. Can the little crow eat meat today? Chapter 67 Qing wakes up. Little Naruto licked his fingers and swallowed his saliva. Come on, eat it, it smells delicious. Itachi saw Naruto being rejected many times today and never gave up, but he never imagined that this was bought for him. Itachi turned his head away again in refusal. Hey, why don't you eat? Qing didn't know how long he had slept and saw little golden head sitting on the ground not far away, playing with something. Qing was stunned for a moment, then he suddenly woke up completely as he remembered something. He propped himself up and called out tremblingly, "Little Naruto." In order not to waste energy, Naruto, who did not go out to play today, was playing with the toys that Qing bought for him. Hallucinating, he rubbed his eyes, and when he found that he was not mistaken, he smiled brightly, got up and ran towards Qing. "Uncle." Qing caught the child who rushed over, his face solemn. "How long have I slept? Is the money I left for you enough? Did you eat well?" He started by asking 3 questions in a row, and Naruto didn't know what to respond with for a moment. Hands, feet and stomach. Because the child's face was full of baby fat and nothing could be seen, and his belly was soft, obviously he had not eaten yet. Uncle has been asleep for. Little Naruto counted on his fingers, then opened his 2 small palms towards Qing. 10 days. Then he ran to the closet and took out the small purse, shaking out the remaining money inside. "There's still some money left, little uncle. It's good for a good meal." Qing left Naruto half a month's living expenses. Excluding the possibility that Naruto spent money recklessly or was cheated when buying things, it is absolutely impossible for him to have only slept for 10 days. Naruto would say 10 days, maybe it's just that the highest number this kid knows is 10. The remaining money was not even enough for a meal. Naruto said that he ate well, but it was unknown how he ate. Naruto to be so resistant to the orphanage. Guilt and heartache spread, and Qing rubbed Naruto's back again and again. He even questioned whether it was right or wrong to bring Naruto to his place. After all, Qing cannot guarantee that he will be able to return within the estimated time when he goes on a mission. "Uncle." Naruto raised his head in confusion when he didn't hear Qing's voice. Seeing his calm face, his heart skipped a beat. "Did I really eat too much? I promise I will eat less in the future. Uncle, please don't be and chase me away, okay? I will still work." After coming to his senses, Qing heard Naruto counting on his fingers while talking about the housework he had done alone these days. Still retained a pure and sincere heart. When he grew up he was originally a good boy. "Uncle, I have money, so it's no problem for me to support you." The sensible Naruto dispelled Qing's concerns. He patted the child's head and said, "Wait for uncle to take a bath, then we'll go out for a big meal. While I'm taking a shower, you can think about what to eat, okay?" Chapter 68 Foolish Dad. Qing moved his hands and feet and found that his limbs did not feel weak from lying down for too long. He had discovered this before, but he himself didn't know the reason. When he was lying down for a few days the first time, the medical ninja checked him and everything was normal. What if there were any sequelae? "Let's take little Naruto for a physical examination tomorrow." Qing was standing under the shower, thinking about what to do next. Half an hour later, when he came out of the bathroom, little Naruto was lying on the bed, swinging his little feet and looking at the picture album bought by Qing. Naruto couldn't understand the words above. Above is already very attractive to him. Buy more enlightenment books. Qing has added another item to his Naruto plan. Hearing the door open, Naruto raised his head and supported himself on the bed. "Uncle." Izzy squatted down and opened his arms. Naruto was stunned for a moment, then he understood what she meant, quickened his pace, got off the bed, and pounced towards Qing. Qing steadily caught Naruto and lifted him up high and spun him around. "Whose child is this? He's so well behaved. Him. We're getting ready to go out. Do you want to change your clothes?" Rather than making decisions for Naruto, Qing preferred to ask for Naruto's opinion. Naruto lowered his head, tugged at his clothes and shook his head. "I have already taken a shower today, and my clothes are clean." Naruto pulled the clothes and put them under Qing's nose. "The laundry stuff at my uncle's house smells so good. Qing's laundry detergent is actually odorless, but the children's laundry detergent that Shadow Clone bought does have a faint fragrance. Qing cooperated and smelled it. It smells good. Then he sniffed Naruto's neck as well. Our child smells good too. Ha ha ha, it's so itchy, little uncle. Naruto hugged Qing's head and laughed. Silly. Dad. Qing couldn't help but suck a few puffs of the cub before going out, which delayed him for a while if Naruto's stomach hadn't made a rumbling sound and called back. Qing, have you thought about what you want to eat? I want to eat meat that makes a sizzling sound. Meat that makes a sizzling sound. Qing thought about it, but couldn't figure out what it meant. Naruto gestured with his hands, a big table with a circle in the middle. Then when you put the meat on it, it will make a sizzling sound. Every time Naruto passed by, he could smell a particularly fragrant scent and hear a sizzling sound. Ah, I know what it is, Naruto described it very clearly, and Qing had a goal in mind. As I got closer to the barbecue restaurant, I could already smell the barbecue. Little Naruto arched his nose and said happily, it's here. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelists. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 69. Qing still knows a lot of people in the village, but he hasn't been back for several years. The owner of the barbecue restaurant was sitting behind the cashier counter near the door. When he saw Qing holding Naruto, he felt that Qing looked very familiar. Owner is not the type of person who hates and excludes him. Boss, both of you. Qing's words brought the boss back to his senses. Welcome. You can sit anywhere, there are empty seats. It was already past the peak dining time, and there were only a few scattered tables of customers in the restaurant. Felt that he would never forget this unforgettable appearance after seeing it. Qing raised his head and smiled. I have been here a few times before, but it has been a long time since the last time. No wonder, the boss said with a clear face. What do you want to eat? We still have premium beef today. Please leave the paper and pen with me, and I'll take notes. I'll bring it to you when I'm done. Considering that it would take him a long time to choose, Qing didn't want to keep people waiting like that. Ah, I remember. Qing's words made the boss instantly remember who the young man in front of him was. Your name is Qing. That's right, I am. Qing was a little surprised. After all, he had only been here a few times. Ha ha ha, you've grown so big, I almost didn't recognize you. A mission. It's been several years, right? When did you come back? The boss's series of questions made Qing feel helpless. I just came back a few days ago, and you still remember me. After all, I mistook you for a little girl when I was a child. Ha ha ha. The boss laughed heartily. When Qing was a child, she was always mistaken for a girl. Knowing that her boss meant no harm, she didn't say anything. Qing's clothes and said in a low voice, Uncle, I'm hungry. He held his stomach with his hands, looking a little aggrieved. The boss only then noticed Naruto's presence again. He felt sorry for delaying the guest's meal and said, Sorry. Look at my temper. How about letting me take care of it today? Not refused the boss's kindness and handed the menu back, but please prepare some food that is easy for the children to digest. Boss, okay, just sit for a while and it will be ready soon. Then the waiter brought the tableware and 2 glasses of water, but she kept gazing at Qing's face while placing the tableware. Qing's attention was on Naruto and he didn't care. After the strangers had gone far away, Naruto looked around curiously. He held the water that Qing handed him in both hands, and swung his feet happily, looking like he was in a good mood. Qing rubbed his head. Are you so happy? Yes. Happy. Naruto nodded vigorously. This is my first time here, I'm so looking forward to it. Chapter 70. The air around them was filled with the aroma of barbecue, and Naruto snorted at the smell of barbecue from other tables. Even his greedy look made Qing feel very cute. In the future, just tell your uncle where you want to go, and your uncle will take you there. Uncle is the best. Naruto turned around and hugged Qing's arm, showing his emotions to him. I like uncle the most. Qing was coaxed by Naruto's words. Before he started eating, he scooped Naruto over and sat him on his lap. Hey, little Naruto, uncle wants to discuss something with you, okay? What? Naruto looked up. My uncle is going to the hospital for a physical examination tomorrow. How about Naruto-chan go with him? Hospital. Naruto shrank his neck. Do you need an injection? Well, it might be necessary. Qing didn't know if blood draws were required for a child's physical examination, so she couldn't guarantee that no needles would be needed. Are you scared? If you're not ready, we can go a few days later. Naruto frowned. Will my uncle stay with me during the injection? Of course. Qing rubbed Naruto's head. Uncle will be with you during the physical examination. Naruto's worries all dissipated with Qing's assurance. Then I'm not afraid anymore. Let's go together tomorrow, uncle. Naruto's calling him little uncle became easier and easier to pronounce, and the initial awkwardness was no longer there. Faced with Naruto's dependence, Qing didn't know whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. But it has to be admitted that such dependence filled Qing's heart. After the incident between Minato and Kushina, Qing often felt a little anxious as if he had a heart disease. Every time this happened he would think of Naruto in Konoha, and the fact that Naruto still needed him would make him feel better now. Instead of saying that Naruto is relying on him, Qing feels that he is relying on this child. Tell your uncle, has anything interesting happened in the past few days? Well, I met some new friends in the park. Oh, and there's a little crow. This was the first time Naruto shared something about himself with another person, and his face was flushed with excitement. Little crow. Mind? Yes. Little crow. He comes home every evening and sits on his uncle's belly. The little crow is not as troublesome as other crows. When he first came, I tried to chase him away, but he flew into my face to scare me. But since the little crow didn't actually hurt me, I think he was just playing with me. Listening to Naruto's description, Qing could feel Naruto's love for this little crow at the end of the conversation. Naruto suddenly became quiet and looked at Qing with some trepidation. Uncle, well, the little crow is really well behaved. Yes, I can tell you treat him as a friend. Having said this, Qing had already guessed the identity of the little crow. When Qing thought of the awkwardness on the child's face and how he came to find her in such a cute way, he felt a little upset. Well, the little crow is also my friend. So, uncle, can we raise the little crow? After saying that, Naruto lowered his head and looked at his finger. Qing, raise. The next heir of the Uchiha family? Chapter 71. When it came to locking up the next heir of the Uchiha family, Qing couldn't help but imagine the scene. However, the one brought in was the adult Uchiha Itachi. Qing didn't want to admit that she was moved, and she felt a little bit emotional. Uncle. After not getting a reply, Naruto raised his head. Are you angry? After hearing Naruto sound like he was about to cry, Qing pulled himself out of his thoughts and coughed dryly. Ahem. I'm not angry. Qing was thinking about how to tactfully tell Naruto that this little crow could not be kept. Suddenly I thought of what to say. Naruto-chan, did you feed the little crow when he came? Speaking of this, Naruto felt a little disappointed. Yes, the little crow doesn't eat bread or meat. That's right. Qing's eyes flashed with a smile. We can't keep the little crow, because he has an owner? Naruto was confused. Huh? Does the little crow already have a home? Yes, that's why he won't eat what you feed him, Naruto-chan, because he's already full at home. Ah, I see. Qing originally thought that Naruto would be disappointed, and wanted to tell him that he could go to the flower and bird market and buy a new bird he liked. Before he could finish his words, Naruto seemed relieved. So the little crow has a home, so he doesn't have to wander around outside anymore. Qing's breath was choked. Naruto always made Qing feel distressed in very detailed places. Yes, the little crow has a home, and our little Naruto also has a home. Qing felt it necessary to move forward, as the place he lived in now is clean and comfortable, but after all, they will live together as a couple in the future, and Naruto will grow up too. When Naruto got older, the one-bedroom apartment would seem a bit crowded. After we go to the hospital and get our physical examination done, how about we go pick out our new home together? Although Qing can use Minato and Kushina's home freely. But before they came back, Qing didn't want to destroy the original appearance of the interior. Choosing our new home. Naruto's eyes widened. Qing nodded. Well, the current house is a bit small. Let's move to a bigger house. Because this is a home for you and me. So little Naruto, you have to help choose it together. Oh, and you have to help with the decoration afterwards. Naruto focused on words like you and me and we. Nodding vigorously, I will help. The child's emotions were written all over his face, and his eyes were full of anticipation. The blue eyes looked unusually pure and bright. Qing was a little worried that Naruto might not be able to sleep at night because of excitement. There's something in our circle too. This is a grill. There is charcoal underneath. When you put the meat on this net, it will make a sizzling sound. Qing patiently explained to Naruto. After the oven was started, plates of meat were brought up. In a short while, the entire table was filled with even more. Qing looked at the table in front of him in a daze. This is too much? A thumbs up. These are all good things. Today's meal is on me, so eat as much as you want. Qing wanted to say something, but because a guest came in, the boss was busy receiving him. Uncle, I'm hungry. Naruto patted Qing's arm, looking at the table of meat with shining eyes. Meat. All you see is meat. Chapter 72. Qing placed Naruto next to him and asked the waiter for a cushion to raise him up so that he could reach the table more easily. Wait a minute, little Naruto, it will be ready soon. Qing took the barbecue tongs and quickly filled the entire grill. He saw the right opportunity and quickly turned them all over. Sizzle. Naruto excitedly imitated the sound of oil. Qing kept staring at the meat on the grill. When the time came, a shadow of his arm appeared. The grilled meat was put into the bowl in front of Naruto, and the bowl was piled high with meat. Wow! This operation made little Naruto's mouth open slightly, and he clapped his hands and applauded. Uncle is so awesome. It's a little hot, blow on it before eating. Qing held a plate of fresh meat in one hand and put the meat in the other hand. Soon the plate was full again. I'm ready to eat. Naruto was already able to use chopsticks very well. He blew on the chopsticks and put them in his mouth, chewing with a satisfied look on his face. Oz. Delicious. The barbecue for Naruto was well done, while his own was medium rare. It was already past dinner time, and Qing didn't dare let Naruto eat too much, otherwise he would not be able to sleep tonight. Those who are trying something new for the first time, I can still eat more. Naruto held his bowl and looked at Qing pitifully. Uncle, I still want to eat meat. No, you'll be full if you eat any more. Qing refused him cruelly and handed him half a glass of juice. It's very uncomfortable to eat too much. Have you forgotten? The first time I took Naruto to eat ramen, Naruto ate too much and felt very uncomfortable. There's still a lot of time. I can bring you here next time. Qing threatened Naruto. If you get too full, you won't be able to eat delicious food for a long time. Naruto felt a little scared when he thought about the last time when he felt so full that he wanted to vomit. I don't want to eat any more. Most of the remaining food went into Qing's stomach. Although he was full, he didn't feel bloated. Looking at the plate empty, Qing himself was a little surprised that his appetite was so big. But maybe it's because I slept too long? Naruto, who had eaten his fill, was already feeling a little sleepy. Normally he would have fallen asleep at this time. Qing held Naruto in his arms and went to the front desk to pay the bill. But the boss refused to accept it. I already said this meal is my treat, just bring more friends next time. Naruto with his coat and adjusted the position of his embrace so that he could sleep more comfortably. After turning a corner, I saw a familiar figure in the distance. The iconic white hair and the mask that almost covers the entire face. Kakashi Hatake, who was leaning against the electric pole, looked like he was waiting here for Qing on purpose. When Qing approached, he raised his hand and greeted, "Yo." Then his eyes fell on the child in Qing's arms. "Good evening, Senior Brother Kakashi. Long time no see." Qing lowered his voice. "Are you waiting for me, Senior Brother?" Minato is Kakashi's teacher, and Qing is Minato's younger brother. After Qing became familiar with Kakashi, he started calling him Senior Brother. "I guess so. I saw you when I passed by the barbecue restaurant just now." Kakashi put away the novel in his hand and said, "You slept for a long time." Chapter 73. Under the street lights, the two people's shadows were stretched out. Naruto in Qing's arms whimpered, interrupting what he was about to say next. "How about we talk about it next time?" Qing looked apologetic. "Eh?" Kakashi sighed helplessly. "Are you caring too much about this kid?" Kakashi has known Qing for some years. Even when facing the water gate, although you appear to have accepted it, there is actually still a layer of screen between you and it. Minato saw it, but he didn't do anything to expose it. I also believe that one day Qing will be able to accept them completely. It was because Qing had always kept his distance from everyone that Kakashi felt that Qing's attitude towards Naruto was very wrong. "Isn't it my duty to take care of him?" Qing said as a matter of course. He tilted his head, showing that he didn't understand why Kakashi said that. Little Naruto's identity is indeed sensitive. It's fine if his identity is hidden, but are his family members not allowed to show love and care to him? At this point, Qing looked at Kakashi with some resentment, and the Hokage has agreed to let me take him with me. Kakashi, are you blaming me? How could that be? I know that senior brother Kakashi has no choice. The incident of the Nine Tails back then involved the Uchiha family. The fourth Hokage passed away suddenly, and Konoha was actually in chaos at that time. Qing was just blaming himself for being too impulsive at the time, acting on impulse without considering the consequences, which led to the three generations being divided up for so many years in order to protect himself. I just want to do my best to let Naruto grow up like a normal child. Qing stroked Naruto's back in his arms. He is also close to me. I still have confidence that I can support Naruto. I'm not here to persuade you to send him back. Kakashi scratched his already messy hair. Well, just keep it in mind, nothing else. I just wanted to say hello to you after not seeing you for a long time. Kakashi looked at Naruto, who was sleeping, before leaving. Well, goodbye, good night, Kakashi-san. Kakashi used the instant body jutsu to disappear from the spot. His original intention was indeed to persuade Qing, but the current situation, Kakashi didn't know who to sympathize with. Kakashi, who was still on the tree and hadn't walked far, sighed silently as he watched the boy go away. Teacher, these two guys you left behind are really more troublesome than the other. Back early the next morning, Qing woke Naruto up from bed, washed him, and changed his clothes for him. He carried the still drowsy Naruto and headed towards the Konoha hospital. Because we arrived early, there aren't many people here yet. When the older nurses saw Qing's face, they recognized him at a glance. Oh, Qi-jun, you're back. Good morning, Sister Mulin. Long time no see. We are here for a physical examination. When Qing was injured, he received a lot of care from the nurses in the hospital. After all, children who are pretty and sweet-spoken are always popular. Chapter 74. Qing first accompanied Naruto to do all the examinations. When his blood was drawn, Naruto closed his eyes in fear and buried his face in Qing's arms. Compared to the child crying next to him, Naruto's situation was already less worrying. Even the nurse couldn't help but praise, the child is so brave. After drawing blood, just wait for the report to come out. As for Qing found the medical ninja who had examined him before and explained the situation to him. Then he was taken to another place. After a full body check, everything was the same as before, with nothing unusual at all. Your situation is really special. If conditions permit, I would like to perform an autopsy on you to see what's going on inside. The medical ninja said in amazement, but if you are lucky enough to meet that person someday, you can ask him to check you out. Qing knew who that person was referring to. However, if you don't go looking for her specifically, the chances of meeting Lady Tsunade is very slim. Thank you for your help. Qing put on his clothes. It's no trouble, no trouble. If you feel uncomfortable anywhere, you can come to me. If you are willing to give me a tube of your blood for research. Goodbye. Qing opened the door and left without any hesitation. Naruto sat obediently on a chair outside and waited, with his head hung and looking a little depressed. Naruto, are you bored after waiting for so long? Naruto shook his head and put his arms around Qing's neck. Uncle, when can we go back? His voice was muffled, and it was obvious that he was holding back. You can go back after getting your report. Qing saw that Naruto was in a very bad condition. He glanced around and unknowingly saw more and more people in the hospital. The moment he turned his head, the eyes that were originally on him instantly shifted away. Qing probably knew what Naruto had just faced alone. I'm sorry, little Naruto, for leaving you waiting here alone. Hearing Qing's words, Naruto's grievances instantly came out and he sobbed softly. Qing followed his back and quickened his pace. Those who wanted to greet him were glared back by him. The person who was frustrated was also stunned after seeing who Qing was annoyed. Little monster, and they even seemed to be very close. Naruto's medical examination report came out. After Qing received it, he thanked him and left. He himself had worked in the medical department for some time, so he could understand such a report. Not a monster. Why do they all hate me? This question has been bothering Naruto, but no one around him would answer him before. Of course you're not a monster. Qing lowered her voice and soothed him. You are a child. They just have some misunderstandings about you. Qing's special physique made Naruto unconsciously want to get close to him. and his voice could also soothe Naruto's emotions after hearing Qing's gentle words. All the discomfort that Naruto had just suppressed in his chest disappeared. Well, as long as my uncle doesn't abandon me, I don't care what happens to others. Naruto, who was coaxed, hugged Qing's neck again. Qing always felt that there was something wrong with this sentence. Chapter 75. Qing always felt that there was something wrong with what Naruto said, but her main goal at the moment was to coax the child, so she didn't think about it too much. Naruto's uneasiness dissipated and his tears stopped, but he couldn't stop hiccuping after crying. Duh. Naruto covered his mouth with both hands. Duh. He looked at Qing coming out of the bathroom with a wronged look. The towel in Qing's hand was for washing Naruto's face. Naruto looked up at Qing and said, "Hey. I can't stop, hey, help me." "Haha, it's okay, it will be fine in a while." Qing put his hands on Naruto's back, and a thin layer of chakra on the palm of his hand smoothed his back. Naruto, who suddenly got better, widened his eyes and stared at Qing curiously. "Uncle is so amazing. He really won't do it again." Qing used to be a veterinarian. The blood vessels and tendons of many small pets are much smaller than those of humans. In some cases the control is more refined. Perhaps for this reason, Qing has very precise control over chakra in the class after going to school. "Really? I will study hard." Naruto waved his fist. "I will work hard and will never let my uncle down." After letting Naruto finish his breakfast, I coaxed him to sleep for a while. Qing sat on the bed, his back against a pillow, holding Naruto's medical examination report in his hand. Naruto is much shorter than his peers. If you want to change something, change it completely and fundamentally. Qing wrote an extra item milk in the Naruto plan, and then crossed it out and changed it to milk powder. Seeing Naruto's condition, he still needs to sleep for a while, so Qing takes this time to go out shopping. There is no rush to move, and you need to take your time choosing a suitable education house. From clothes to daily necessities, early childhood enlightenment books to educational toys. By the time Qing came to his senses, the sealing scroll he brought with him had been almost used up. Most of the money saved in the past few years had been used up, which made Qing feel dazed for a moment. When Qing met his senior on the road, he stopped to say hello and asked about the supplies needed to raise a child. Fearing that he had not bought everything, Narashikaku was silent, looking Qing up and down. The man, who was annoyed by the kid at home and just wanted to find a place to hide, sighed and looked depressed. "How could I know such a troublesome thing? The kid is 3 years old, right? There is no need to be as careful as a baby. Boys don't need to be raised as carefully as the girls in Yamanaka Inoichi's family." Narashikaku's words woke Qing up. Indeed, he always couldn't help but treat Naruto as a baby. After expressing his thanks and exchanging a few pleasantries, Qing said goodbye to Narashikaku. Narashikaku looked at the boy's back and shook his head. "I am still just a half-grown kid." However, after returning home that day, Narashikaku asked his wife a few questions about things that children of this age need to pay attention to. This made Nariku's wife think that he was possessed by evil spirits. After talking for a few more sentences, I realized that it was Qing who asked the question. Thinking of Qing, Nara's wife had always had a good impression of him. After sighing a few words, she told him the precautions. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.